What's up, YouTube? So we're off to Columbus Mart.
Hey,
We're all in the car. And we have Firestone, we have Mavis Tire open on Sunday. We have Jiffy Lube open on Sunday. Let's see if I can't do something here with my phone. How about that? You remember that Tim the Tool time? With, who's the guy that looked over the fence all the time? What was his name? He's like, hey neighbor, and you never see his face.
You only see his eyes.
Willis, I think. Or anyway, so I was curious on how on Sunday, it's almost impossible for me on a Sunday to do actual repair work because we're not manufacturer specific, so we're not stocking the same parts for, you know, Ford Explorer, you know, for a 10-year span, right? Just say we're a specialty shop, all we work on is Ford Explorers, so we stock the tires for the Ford Explorer and the purge valves and the vent valves and the tune-up parts and blah 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 blah. It's on the shelf. I'm curious of how these guys are doing any real work. I wouldn't say real work on a Sunday. If they're relying on AutoZone and Advance to fix a car with their parts, they're never going to get anything fixed. Their service sucks. The people behind the counter don't know a whole lot, and don't take this personal with anyone. And the product lines suck, besides maybe brakes and rotors and things like that. And we're open on Saturday from 7:30 to 12, and we have better parts places open that have more knowledgeable people and maybe a better inventory. I wouldn't say necessarily a better product line because it just seems like everything that's made today is complete garbage. But we're doing the best we can with what we got. But I'm just curious how Firestone, how Mavis, unless they're just doing a lot of oil changes and tires, I assure you they're not stocking axles and master cylinders and valve cover gaskets and ignition coils and knock sensors and, you know, alternators and things like that. So, you know, what are they really doing in the base? I would just really like to know. Someone tell me, because I can barely get anything done on a Saturday with the availability of parts for all the different vehicles that we service. But maybe, you know, mostly they're doing tires and oil changes and tire repairs.
Brakes.
And probably some brake work, because the brake work's probably fairly easy to get parts nowadays, and fairly easy, not super easy.
Advanced Auto and AutoZone usually have their brake parts available.
Yeah, they usually have a good product line. But say other than brakes, like what else? You're not really doing any other real work. And trust me, I would rather be doing brakes and tires all day long. Tires is the least, in my opinion, of what we do problematic for comebacks, right? So you don't really need a really skilled technician to install tires. I would hope that they would get the wheels tight and that they don't fall off and balanced properly. I mean, there's some.
Put the lug nuts on.
Yeah, there's some things. You need some skill to do tires for sure. But yeah, I mean, I'm just curious what type of work are they doing? I mean, are they quick lube and tires? Is probably more of what I would say, and probably brakes. I'm sure they do a good business.
In order for them to keep being open, there have to be.
But most Meineke shops are closed.
Yeah.
And for the exact reason, like, if you're doing tires all day long, there's not a whole lot of profit in tires. If you're doing oil changes all day long, there's not a whole lot of profit in oil changes unless you're, you know, charging quick lube prices. So, but you know, the big box stores, their management and their technicians have to sell because they get paid on a commission scale. So something's got to give. Let me know.